You wrote here,
Yes.
I think in page 7, research shows that about 1.8 million graduates are produced in Nigeria every year, and over 45% of this statistic are unemployed.
Very true. Absolutely true.
1.8 million graduates.
Yes. So many graduates. Now, we have been programmed to go to school, study, and have it in mind that what you need to do to craft a good future for yourself is to have good grades, graduate, find a job. You know, so we are not taught how to leverage on our skills to be able to have a competitive edge when you graduate. Understand the fact that if you look at it, so many things are going on. The economy is not as it used to be. So many companies went through redundancy, and you find out that there are less jobs, fewer jobs with more graduates. So how do these people cater for themselves when they come out of school? How are they able to help their families? Some people are supporting their families by working. Well, you find out that most of these people have, parents who are no longer able to, put themselves up and put food to the table. So that becomes a sad situation. Having gone through that myself, it was not something I was happy to go through, even with a master's from the UK.
Yeah, I read that from your book. You had a master.
Yes.
You got a master's from the UK.
Yes, I did.
And yet you still couldn't get a job
Yes.
for a long time.
Yes, very well. I actually started applying while I was in the UK before I came back.
I saw you wrote somewhere here that something about your 35th application or something.
Yes, I made, like, every day I wake up, I find so many companies to apply. And, when the
So you had your first
comes,
degree, second degree from
Nigeria,
overseas, yet you couldn't get a job for a long time.
I couldn't get a job. So I had my first degree was here in Nigeria. Then I traveled, did my master's. I was expecting that, I have the master's.
People will jump at you.
I should be able to get the job. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy. And the same is still going on today. There are people who have gone outside the country, gotten their master's, even graduated with distinction, and they're not able to find a job. But most of these people have been able to, find their passion. I know one who is into photography now. There's another who is into graphics design. But these are, people who have been able to realize their passion. And this is why I wrote this book, to be able to, let more Nigerians understand that you are not tied down to your degree certificate. You don't necessarily have to sit down and wait for employment before you're able to help yourself, put yourself, through the process of getting money. You can cash out from the little things around you, from the little things you love to do.
There's a culture of pride in Nigeria that stops people from cashing their passion.
I actually think so. So there are people who tell you, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And
I can't make hair.
I can't make hair.
I can't.
That thing is,
are
you trying to say I will now start cooking, I will now start selling cookies, I will now start selling food? But I tell people, it all depends on the way you package it. It depends on the way you put yourself out there. How do people perceive you? What is the perception? How do you put that craft together? Do you understand? So if you look at yourself that you can't do this, you can't do that, you are limiting yourself and, limiting how far you can take your skills and passion. And that, automatically also affects you cashing out. So there are people who still don't have money because they look at something as being too small, whereas there are people who look at that and they see an opportunity in it. They leverage on the opportunity and they're able to cash out. And that's what the young people in Nigeria today need to start understanding.
You also wrote here that you've seen thousands of employees lose their jobs.
Oh, yes.
You are in the banking sector, right?
Yes, I am.
And I know that affected that sector.
Yes,
last few years,
yes,
a lot of people lost their jobs. And I've had stories of some having heart failure because they lost their jobs.
Yes.
So there were some suicide cases. Yeah. Depression, families falling apart because they lost their jobs and so on. Part of that, according to you in this book, is because people have not yet understood how to cash their passion.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
Somebody might say you're a bit insensitive, that maybe you are not realistic. You don't know what is going on out there. There's no money to start any business. So what are you talking about?
To be honest, I always tell people that Sometimes it's not just about the money. You don't necessarily have to have 1 million naira somewhere or have 500,000 naira for you to start a business. We are in a generation where the internet and technology has made it possible for you to have a marketplace at anywhere, any location, and be able to sell to people. So I tell people there is social media today, and social media can be used to your advantage. Do you have a phone? Do you have data? As little as 1,000 naira, you can put your passion out there and create value. Create value that people would gravitate towards you. So if you have a phone, you have data, all you need maximum 2,000 naira, buy data. Can you draw? Can you sing? Can you make hair? Find someone that you can do that craft on. For example, you can do a pro bono work because you want to be able to showcase yourself, expose yourself to the world.
I love the way there's a part here you put frequently asked questions.
Yes, the frequently asked questions.
Where you address all these
yes,
things.
It breaks down
the particular
everything.
question is, how much money will I need to start my passion? How do I get money to do what I want to do?
Yes.
And you really broke them down and try to respond to everything.
Yes.
Fantastic, brilliant. We could go on and on. There are a lot of questions I still want to ask you, but we don't have time. The bored employee, the frustrated employee, they can all do something.
Everybody, wherever you are as an employee, you can still do something.
And I like the fact that you are an employee, yet you are running your businesses, by the side, and that's something to talk about in Nigeria. A lot. There's a lot to talk about there. Lynda, we have to stop here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
No problem. Thank
Cash
you.
your passion. I'm going to read this again.
Yes, you need to
and
read
then think
the
of
book.
how I can cash my own passion too. Thank you.
You should. Thank you very much.
Nice to have
it
you
was
here.
nice.